I think the world would be a better place if everyone had well-defined, strong hamstrings and quads. And yes, I am aware I'm the first person to ever say those words in that order. Today we're going to be talking about Bolt's Raider. This is their residential leg extension leg curl machine that will make the world a better place one hamstring at a time. Or I guess 2 hamstrings at a time? But does this machine perform well enough to justify the cost, and more importantly, the space it'll take up in our home gyms? Let's get right into it and talk about why someone may want the ability to do leg extensions and leg curls in their home gym. To be clear, I am not a medical or exercise expert. I've just been working out for a long time and like researching different exercises and how to add them into our workouts. All that to say, if Mr. Leg Extension wants to add more insight or correct me in the comments, feel free. If YouTube would allow for it, I would ask for a picture of your perfectly sculpted quads. To put it simply, leg extensions allow you to localize and focus on building strength and mass in your quads. Leg curls do the same, but for your hamstrings. The important thing about both of these exercises is to do them as efficiently as possible. You need equipment that you can adjust to your build, because that will allow for a good stretch at the start of the exercises. I personally like to do both leg extensions and leg curls as accessories on leg day after my heavy squats. But I know some people use these exercises to warm up or prefer to do them over squats entirely for a magnitude of reasons. The first thing I noticed about the Raider is how many different adjustment points there are. To be honest, it was a little overwhelming at first, but after using it a couple times, it became very easy to set up and adjust. Having all that customization is what makes it great. There are 4 different manual adjustments, not including the self-adjusting bottom seat that we'll get into. All these points allow for me at 5'6", Adrian at 6 foot, and our 10-year-old at 4'8" to all use the machine. That is a crazy range of heights that not a lot of equipment can accommodate, so props to Bolt. Let me explain quickly how and why you would want to adjust the machine so much. Now, to do a proper leg extension, you want your knee to be in line with the pivot point of the machine. You then want to eliminate any space between your back and the seat pad. You adjust the back pad forward using these, standing spikes. I'm sure there is a correct phrase for these, but I don't know it, so we're gonna go with standing spikes. Lastly, you want to make sure that the leg pad is resting just above your ankles. You can adjust these leg pads using the pop pins. Now you can see why the plethora of adjustment points is a good thing. If you're used to commercial machines with sliding adjustment systems, it may be annoying for you to have to get up and down to adjust everything, but this is a residential piece of equipment. And after using it a couple times, you'll memorize what setting you use. Or maybe you're one of those people who work out alone with their inner demons, and they won't change the seat settings on you. After doing all the correct adjustments, I found that doing leg extensions was very comfortable, and I especially loved the positioning of these handles alongside the seat. I'll be honest, I was a little nervous how close this other leg pad pole would get to my beautiful face, but it's really not close at all. Now I know the most important thing with leg extensions is the resistance curve of the exercise. I will go on record right now saying I found the resistance curve, while not perfect, to be fairly smooth and consistent, especially for a plate load machine. The issue with the resistance profile with this exercise is that during the start of the exercise, it feels like the weight isn't fully engaged, making the start easier than it should be. I do think it would be made a little better if they cut this stopper back an inch or so to make the starting position of the exercise a little further back so I can get a better stretch. So I would say the range of motion could be a little better. Now let's get into the leg curl portion of the machine. In order to get the machine in leg curl mode from leg extension mode, we'll need to adjust the back pad again. There's a pop pin system that will allow you to move the back pad into a flat or pass flat into a prone position. The clever thing here is that as you move the back pad down, there are these poles that extend underneath the seat. So when you push the pad down, they automatically put the seat into position in line with the back pad. This is a really clever feature that I love because it's one less thing I need to worry about while setting up. I do have to say they probably should have put some UHMW or something to act as a barrier between the 2 pieces because, as you can see, the paint's already chipping. I mean, you can't see it, but it is. Once you get the pads in the correct position, you then want to adjust the leg rollers on the top bar so that when you're laying down, again with your knee at the pivot point, The roller should rest on the backs of your ankles. You then load some weight, grab these bottom handles, and let her rip. Speaking of letting her rip, if you're at all interested in any of the equipment we covered today, please rip into our affiliate links in the description, as your support is how we keep this thing going. Wow, look at that super nice, smooth affiliate spiel. Not awkward at all. Anyway, after setting everything to my height, I found the leg curls worked great. The pad has enough give for it to be comfortable on my chest, and the handles underneath really allow me and Adrian to push ourselves and put some weight on our leg curls. Additionally, there are 7 different positions for the back pad, allowing you to really mess around with what angle works best for you. Leg curls worked so well, of course Adrian tried to do actual curls on it. I'll let you guys see how well that worked. While it is good, I have some small complaints. There's too much wiggle room in this back pop pin, so depending on what angle you have it set to, the back pad will move up and down a little as you pull on the handles. Like with the leg extensions, this resistance curve is good, but when you're at the top of the leg curl, gravity starts helping you, making that part of the exercise easier. You can get around this a little by utilizing the band pegs to make that top section harder. But it's not going to be perfect, and it never will be without a cam. And yes, I realize I'm nitpicking, and you may not notice these things at all, but it's literally my job because I want you to know what you're actually getting. To back things up a little, this machine has an overall good build quality. I really like the back pads, seat, leg rollers, and the overall adjustment system. It's made with 7 and 11 gauge steel with a loadable sleeve length of just over 9 inches, allowing for a capacity of 315 pounds. That, unfortunately, no one here could test. There are small things that could be better. For example, the finish is scratched in some places, especially where the pieces come together. And I would love it if there were wheels on the back for the unfortunate person who has to move this thing around. But we always talk about equipment with the context of price. We want to make sure we're being fair to the equipment and also our wallets. Now this is where things are going to get interesting. This is supposed to be a residential piece, and when we first got it, it was selling for $500 before shipping, with the before shipping being the key words. Since it's a large machine, it had to ship freight, which can be expensive, and getting it to us from Texas would run me about $200. If I bought it, that is. And I think this is as good as time as any to say that not only were we sent this piece from Bolt, we actually got their showroom model, as you can tell from the sick nameplate. I really wonder how many butts have sat on this pad and how many of them worked out in a wind tunnel. Now though, because of tariffs and who knows what else, the price has risen to just under $700. For $500 plus shipping, I thought it was a good deal. For $700, you aren't getting any more machine than you were before, but prices are crazy everywhere right now with imported equipment. So all I do know is you might as well join our Patreon. That's only $3 plus shipping and another super smooth self-promotion. The worst thing about dedicated machines like this is their footprint. The Raider has a footprint at just under 3 feet by 6 feet when the back is laid flat. You will gain about a foot of length when the seat pad is upright, but that doesn't really matter because, as I already mentioned, it doesn't have wheels. So you can't even set it up close to the wall and then roll it away when it's time for leg curls. Anyone with a home gym knows that space is the most sacred commodity, and this baby is not petite. So let's quickly go over some other smaller alternatives. Okay, let's talk about the most obtainable alternative, and that would be a leg developer extension that can fit into an adjustable bench. We've tested a bunch of these, like Ironmaster Super Bench Pro and Bells of Steel's Buzzsaw Bench. While they're both much cheaper and smaller than the Raider, the Ironmaster's extension is $200, and the Buzzsaw's attachment is around $160 shipped, they also have lower weight capacities of 200 pounds and much less adjustability. Keep in mind, you also have to buy those benches if you choose to go that route, and they run you around $500. But if you're looking for a minimalist solution to your leg curl and leg extension needs, these, or something like these, would be good. They aren't going to have the best range of motion, adjustability, or resistance curve, but they work. I don't want to say that these are bad options. They're just not as good as a dedicated machine, which of course they're not. These attachments are trying to maximize on versatility and space by adding onto a piece you hopefully already have. When you get something like the Raider that's only job is to be a leg extension leg curl, it needs to have the most adjustability and the best resistance curve possible in order to justify the cost and space it takes up. I really like the Raider, and if I was looking for a dedicated machine or had bodybuilding goals, I would definitely splurge to get it or something similar. We discussed some of the options currently on the market today, but the home gym space is always changing. Rep just teased their new leg developer that can utilize a cable machine, and Dialed Motion is working on their own leg developer solution to fit into that ecosystem. Comment below and subscribe if you would be interested in us reviewing either of those or something else we missed. Let me know what you think and if a machine like this would work for you. Thanks for watching and a big shout out to our Patreons. I'll see you next month. All right.